Hello, and welcome to another video. So we need to focus more on the process rather than the outcome. So the reason why this has been bouncing around inside my head, so the process I'm going through at the moment in my new job, so there's a lot of training involved. So you are using your clinical skills as a healthcare professional, but there's lots of other elements of knowledge and also just a different way of using them as well that you need to get used to. So there's a very clever and thorough staged training process. It gets a steep learning curve in places, but it's actually, it's incredibly well put together. Challenging, especially when you get to the sort of final stages of it, like I am at the minute, because it needs you to put everything into practice sort of fairly quickly, and it sort of introduces you to scenarios that you've not encountered yet in training. Because with the best will in the world, no training is going to be able to cover every single possible scenario that you might need to know about. So yeah, it's occurred to me as I've been doing my morning quick journaling. Excuse me, still lurgied up to the max. Um, that yeah, just thinking about what I'm actually worrying about in relation to it. So I've kind of got to the point now where things are beginning to click, and I say that quite hesitantly because I'm worried that I'm starting to kind of go, I think I'm getting there, and I think I'm nearly there in terms of like getting what I need to be able to proceed beyond the training stage. And I'm a bit worried that that's just going to increase my disappointment if I then have one grade, because you get graded on your reports, have one grade that's not ideal, and that can definitely happen. So I'm trying to temper that slightly, and it did just kind of pull things back into focus when I was journaling this morning, and I was looking at what I'd been saying I was worrying about, and it was about this kind of approvals process. Um, and it's just that you're having to kind of string together, a sort of consistent run of sort of high quality reports. And I've kind of always thought there's so many things that need to fall into place in order to make that happen. But then this morning I was watching a video from Ryan Holiday, the Daily Stoic, and I'd done my journaling, and I was like, I think I'm thinking in the wrong place. I'm thinking about the outcome. I'm worrying about the outcome, and actually, I can't control the outcome. I can influence it, but the way I can influence the outcome is by basically just giving every report my best effort, by focusing on the feedback that I'm getting for improvement purposes. Um, and just sort of create, all I can do is those things and sort of create an environment for myself that's going to allow me to do what I need to do. So that is the bit that I can control, because there's that kind of horrible feeling of not complete powerlessness, but just when you feel that you want to control something but you can't. So I can't control what the grades are going to be, not directly. Um, I can't control whether I get a kind of really complex assessment, or that on one day I forget to ask something or forget to cover something in the report, and I don't get the grade that I need. But I can control my preparation. I can control the mindset I get myself into. Um, I can control the level of effort that I'm putting into it. I can control making sure that I'm going over the report before I submit it, to make sure that I've worded things right and that I haven't omitted anything majorly obvious. So yeah, it's amazing how you sometimes you have to take your own advice on things. But on this occasion, I was prompted by the journaling habit that I've developed over the course of most of this year, and also from my other one of my other morning routines, which is watching the Daily Stoic in the morning time. So, and I get that kind of process versus outcome thing kind of feeds into the the dichotomy of control from Stoic philosophy, where the Stoics were massive exponents of um, there is no point in worrying about the things that you can't control. You need to shift your focus to something that you can, because it's just a completely impossible task. You name anything that you're worrying about in your life at this moment in time. If you're unable to reconcile that worry, it is possible that you're just worrying about something that you can't control. And that's incredibly difficult, if you're someone who suffers from very significant anxiety about anything. Um, the modern world as it's designed at the moment is sort of designed to feed that to some degree. So, if you worry about, I don't know, worry about health, your children's health, like, social media and the wider media in general is set up to make you more anxious about it. And also, if you're an adult as well, there's a good chance that you've picked up that habit from a very young age. And there's also a good chance that you've been practicing that daily habit for quite a long time as well. But it's almost just kind of getting into trying to cultivate the habit of, what can you actually control and invest your effort into that, because worrying about things that you can't control is a complete waste of effort, unfortunately. Yeah. And the process, apologies for the dog, process versus outcome is also, a good thing for like performance, like physical performance as well. So if you're running is always the thing that comes to mind, because I like running, or I used to like running. I haven't run for a while. But the athletes will do this as well. Like, they don't worry about the outcome. They might visualize the outcome if someone's building towards wanting to win an Olympic gold or something like that. Then it may be that they visualize that outcome, but they don't worry about it. They recognize that all the key movement comes from the work that's put in on a day-to-day basis. So it's all about the process. So that's my kind of key takeaway really, is think about what is it that you're worrying about, try and kind of define that in understandable terms, and then think what elements of that you can actually control and what you can't, and then focus your efforts on the bit that you actually have a chance of changing or influencing. Okay, let me know what you think of process versus outcome, whether you've heard of it before, whether you're going to try it, whether you've tried it before. It'd be good to hear from you. See you next time.